Sweden's ruling party has agreed to join NATO, paving the way for an application to the military alliance. Parliamentarians have convened a special session to discuss the accession. This means two Scandinavian states abandoning their long-held positions on NATO as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Well, our correspondent Rosie Burchard joins me live now from Brussels. Rosie, what happens next?
Well, Ollie, let's start with what happens next right here in Brussels. I'm on the sidelines of a meeting of foreign ministers of the European Union, and while it's not officially a NATO meeting, those two organisations share many of the same members, and Sweden and Finland, representatives of those two countries, have added a mystery any other business item to the agenda, which we can perhaps think is not so much of a mystery. They are very likely to be telling their counterparts in that private setting among ministers that those two nations will be seeking to join the NATO defensive alliance. Now, what comes after that is a whole lot of formalities. Now, first of all, we need to have the actual formal applications from those two countries. Now, as you said, there were some protesters seen in Sweden. It's not a done deal, however, the expectation very much is that those applications will be submitted together in the coming days. From that point on, they will need to be discussed by all 30 existing NATO allies, and from there each of those countries will need to ratify the accession bids of these two countries, and without a unanimous backing they simply won't move forward. Now, certainly until the last few days we thought this was going to be an extremely smooth process, but some bumps in the road appear to be emerging. Ollie.
Well, on that note, Rosie, what about Turkey's position? Because President Erdogan of Turkey seemed to express some concerns last week about Finland and Sweden joining up. Does NATO believe that Turkey can be brought on board?
NATO does believe Turkey can be brought on board, at least Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has said as much. Now, this dispute or disagreement between Turkey and these two Nordic nations really comes down to bilateral issues around Kurdish militants that Turkey sees as terrorists, and there's a difference of opinion there among these states. Now, whether that will mean a formal blocking of any entry into the alliance, that looks unlikely, and certainly the sources I've been talking to here in Brussels think this is something which can be overcome through discussion, through debate. And here today in Brussels there is the Foreign Minister of Canada, Melanie Joly, and she has said that she will personally be speaking to her counterparts in Turkey to try and iron out these disagreements to be able to move forward with this accession procedure. She said her country, Canada, could ratify the accession of these two countries within a matter of days. Now, that's likely to be different according to different NATO allies, but the big date to watch, Ollie, will be at the end of June, when all 30 leaders from the existing NATO members meet together in Madrid to mull the alliance's future. And of course, a very big part of that future will be the question of whether those 30 members will become 32.
Rosie, thank you.